Hello, land seekers. If you're looking for land for sale, well, guess what? You are in the right place. I've got 22 properties I want to share with you tonight, all with seller financing. That means that when you're investing with properties with seller financing, you don't have to go to the bank. You don't have to qualify for a loan. You don't have to do anything special. Basically, what you have to do is you got to talk to the seller who's selling the property, because they will finance it. They will sell it to you, and they will hold the note. That's what owner financing or seller financing is all about. I'm Scott from landmodo.com, and this channel is all about helping you to make your land ownership dreams a reality, so you can start living your dreams today and you don't have to wait another day. Now, before we get going into these properties, if you're new here, welcome. If you're old, welcome back. I'm glad to see you again. And just a few reminders. First, all of the properties that you're going to see here today are available on landmodo.com. Here in a minute, I'm going to give you a link that you can go to and see them all, so that you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to show you everything that you need. Landmodo is a land listing platform that allows you to connect directly with the sellers who, as I mentioned, can offer this owner finance land. Now, seller financing or owner financing means that, again, you don't have to go to the bank. There's no credit check. There's no hassle. You'll find that the down payments are very affordable, sometimes very low, most times very low. In fact, tonight you'll see a property with zero down, and also the monthly payments, well, they're less than a car payment as well. Now, tonight, throughout the night, you'll hear me talk about buckets. And, if you're new, if you've been around, you know the buckets. But if you're new here, down in the description, I've listed out those buckets so that you can see those. And let me bring up the properties that we're going to share with you tonight. The properties that we're going to look at tonight are, what happened to me? They are right. Well, they're not popping up for me. Hold on a second. They are, there they go. Sorry about that. There they go. All right. What's happening? There we go. I got it up. Okay. On my end, it didn't look right, but on your end, it's just fine. Here's the states that we're going to cover tonight. We got Arizona, Colorado, Florida, my home state, and some great properties in Florida, by the way, North Carolina, and New Mexico. And by the way, right here where it says landmodo.com/deals, that's where all of the properties that you'll see in this video, you can find them all right here on this website. I'm also, as we go through this, I'll give you some short codes, which will take you right to the properties that we're going to look at. So with that, let's just jump right on in here and let's take a look at our first property. We're going to go to the state of Arizona tonight. Obviously, I think we always start with Arizona. The thing about Arizona is it starts with an A, and I think Alabama would be first, but we don't really spotlight a lot of properties here in Alabama as of yet. So Arizona is first on our list tonight. Let's see. There we go. First county that we're going to look at tonight is, in fact, Apache County, Arizona. The thing about Apache County that I think is really cool is that all of the properties in Apache, you have a lot of different resources for that. They can be recreational, meaning that you can camp on them. They could be long-term investments. And again, this is where the buckets come in. Bucket 1 and bucket 2. Well, that means that you're looking for like a homestead or a place to live. Bucket 1 is typically, I'm looking for a place to live today, like soon, tomorrow. Bucket 2 is you're looking for something long-term. You want to start to plan today. Bucket 3 is that recreational, and bucket 4 is if you're a long-term investor, you just want to hold land because they don't make anymore. Well, that would be you. Now, right here is a short code. You'll see it says lmodo.ws/a number. Now, someone said to me, how do I use this thing? Well, it's simple. Write that down on a piece of paper. If you see a property you want to learn more about, write that down. And then when this session's over, or when this video's over, head over to your web browser, and up in the web browser where you normally type in like www.google.com or whatever you're going to type in, you don't have to type anything other than this. You type in the lmodo.ws/that number, and it will take you right to the property in question. So if you want to learn more about this one, it would take you right to that particular property. Now, this property, again, 1 acre. This is a buildable lot. Bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 4 users. Recreational, not so much on this one. $199 down, $199 a month, and for 50 months. Now, this comes into the flexibility I talk about, because when you're dealing directly with the seller, you have a lot of flexibility in there. And, you know, the $199 is a nice down payment. It's a nice monthly payment. Again, remember, it's less than a car payment. And what you're looking at here, could you negotiate you say, well, can I go for 72 months? You can. You can talk to the sellers about that. And again, the sellers are not big corporations. They're just people like you and I, and they're trying to help you. So if this is a property that you want to learn more about, well, the short code is right there. That, believe it or not, is our only property in Apache County tonight. Normally we have a lot more, but that's it in Apache County tonight. It's changing over to Navajo County. Now, Navajo, you tend to find these particular properties are typically about 1 acre in size, but you'll notice it's about 1.25 acres. And what you'll notice is that this is 3.75 acres. So basically, this is the equivalent of 3 lots. I believe this is 3 lots side by side by side. So you got 1, 2, 3 all together. Look at the picture. Let me bring up the picture here in detail so you can see it. In the distance, way in the distance back there, this yellow arrow that you can hardly see probably, that says Route 66. You know, the good old Route 66. Yeah, Route 66 is back there in the background. And then what you have is you have Sun Valley Drive bringing you up to the property. I believe that the name of this particular road is on Cash In. I think that's what it's called, Cash In. And you'll notice that it's three of these parcels together. Now, who is this good for? Is this good for somebody that wants to live there today? Well, if you want to be off the grid. There's no power in the area. Okay, so like this is north of Route 66, and there's no power in the area. So if you're going to be off the grid and you're going to be okay with a generator and solar, or that's your goal, and you want to live there like tomorrow, this is a property that you could do that with. Again, it's going to be rough living. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be rough living out there. But look at the total purchase price, $4,200. That is all in. But again, this is available with owner financing. So $250 down, $100 a month for 48 months. I love when properties are less than $100 down. I love them when they're $100 down and $100 a month. So this one gets kind of a half of a love from me because it's only it's $100 on the monthly payment. I wish they would have done $100 on the down payment. Does that mean you could negotiate with them? I can't speak for them, but if it were me, I would be asking them, hey, Scott likes the 100. Can you do 100? That you might be surprised there. And again, if you want to learn more about this property, like right there, go to that code right there or write it down. Don't run over there right now because I don't want to lose you. Now we're going to flip over to Mohave County. You're going to see a lot of properties tonight in Mohave County. It is a growing area where a lot of people are looking for land. Why are they looking for land in Mohave? Well, you got Vegas and Clark County just to the kind of the northwest up there. So Clark County could be just west too, depending because of the way it goes. It's adjacent. Okay, let's just say that Clark County, where Las Vegas is adjacent. Now Mohave is a large county, thousands, tens of thousands of more than that, hundreds of thousands of acres. Okay, like it's a huge county. And, you know, where you could be in Mohave is you could be minutes away from Vegas, an hour and a half from Vegas. There's some big cities there in Mohave. Kingman is probably the one that you'll see the most in there. Now, this particular property, let me bring up the big screen of it. This particular property, you will notice a couple of things. One, it's 2.35 acres. Okay, that's what it says, 2.35 acres. You will notice that it says with seasonal stream near Golden Valley, Arizona. What's a seasonal stream? Well, in the winter, when you have the runoff or a little bit of the rainy season as it's there, you will have a stream going through there. It's not something that's permanent, so it's not like you can count on it. It's just going to be as the runoff exists there. Okay, so seasonal stream with this thing, with this particular property, 2.35 acres. Notice, I'm sorry, I want to keep that big. Notice how you have homes here. You don't have a lot of development around you, but you have like in this satellite picture, you have 1, 2, 3 homes. Now, what this obviously means is that there's infrastructure in the area. So you could build on this particular property. This is something that you could do. And The thing about this is we go back to the buckets. And again, the buckets are in the description. But bucket 1, you're looking for a place to live today? Yeah, you could do that. Bucket 2, something to do in the future? Absolutely. Bucket 3, are you going to be able to camp on this land? I don't know. You'd have to read the description, and you can get that information right there. You have to read the description to see, or even check with the county. Bucket 4, if you're a long-term investor, look, some buddies of mine, they're investing in Bitcoin. I'm like, I don't know about Bitcoin. I don't know. It's weird, right? Some people like to invest in gold. Some people like to invest in the stock market. I'm not one of them. Some people like to invest in land. I'm one of those guys. So that's a bucket 4 user or bucket 4 buyer. And again, if you want to learn more about this particular property, see if it's a good fit for you right there. Go right there, okay? But not now. Stay with me. All right. Staying in Mohave, check this down payment down. Check this off. Check this out. I always try about $100 down. I don't have anything for zero. Here's my down payment down. Zero. Whew. Zero down. That's not a joke. It's zero down. And the total purchase price on this thing for 2.5 acres is $5,000. $160 a month for 36 months. What if you want 48 months? Talk to the seller. What if you want 60 months? Talk to the seller. There's flexibility in there, but come on. Zero down? Man, that's insane. But see, that's what you get when you're able to work with the seller on that particular property. Just looking at this thing. You're going to build a dream home on there? No. You're going to build a house tomorrow? No. Bucket 1, bucket 2, I don't see it happening. This is a recreational use. You're going to go out there, you want to camp, you want a place for your RV. Boom, boom. Horseback riding. A buddy of mine had a buddy of mine who's a land seller, someone that would sell a property like this. He was telling me that one day he gets a phone call from somebody that was interested in a property like this. And he's like, yeah, I have it available. What are you hoping to do on the land? And they said, look, I like to hunt rattlesnakes. And so does my buddy. I want one property. My buddy wants the other property because that out in that area, I'm not saying this area, but in the area that they were looking at, there's a big rattlesnake population and we want to be out there hunting. So see, they wanted land that they could go hunting rattlesnakes. Now, man, I'm not hunting rattlesnakes. I'm sorry. To me, that's the equivalent of hunting gators. I'm out. No way. But, again, no matter what purpose you are looking for, if you're looking for a recreational land, this is a perfect property. You look in bucket 4, something that you can hold on to in the future to have that price appreciation as inflation runs it up or whatever the demands of the American population drive it up. This is a great property right there for you. And zero down. That's insane. Okay, I've said that enough. Staying in Mohave County, 2.36 acres, 2.35 acres, $8,000, $299 down, $199 a month for 72 months. Now, think about what we just saw. We just saw another property about 2.5 acres with zero down. Again, that's more of that recreational use there. But look at this one. Like when you look at this one, now you have, you've got, looks like some mobiles or some structures in the background there. I see some power poles. This is a property that you could develop today, okay? And the pricing difference isn't that huge. But are you going to be able to go camp out there? It's really not likely that you would be able to do it. But that said, you could look into it. You'd have to look at the zoning codes, etc., and see if that's a good fit for you. But again, if you want to learn more about that property, just take that short code down, write it down with a pen, write it down or a pencil, write it down, and then go look at that when we get done. All right. Did I skip one? I did not. Okay. 1.25 acres in Mohave, $59.99. Remember a couple ones with zero down, a couple properties go zero down, 2.5 acres. This one's it's half the size, 1.25 acres for $6,000. Flexible down payment, flexible term. They're asking $199 a month. That, again, it's less than a car payment. Now, why does it say flexible? It says flexible because The seller is willing to work with you. So they want to just talk to you, make sure it's a good fit for you, to make sure it's a good property to achieve what you want. If you called them up and go, look, man, I want to do this, and they're like, it's not a good fit for you, they're going to be honest with you. They're going to be honest with you and tell you it's not a good fit. So don't take it personally. They're just looking out for you. But that said, they will also work with you on the down payment. So if they'll say, hey, this is what can you afford? You tell them what you can afford. They'll see if it's a good fit for you beyond that. But also then that's going to change the months, the flexibility on the terms. So again, if you're looking for some land that you're working with the seller with no bank, no credit check, just a low affordable down payment when something that you can afford on a monthly payment, well, just keep watching tonight. But that said, you can learn more about that property using that short code right there. Now, staying in the same county, see how this one gets smaller. This is just about a third of an acre right there, 0.29 acres, $3,700 for the entire property. Think about that one for a second. A third of an acre that's buildable with a road. Let's make this big. With a road there. Other homes around, $37.98 with $99 down and $99 a month. Less than $100 down and less than $100 a month. Seriously. Or if you want to pay cash, less than $3,800. Now, if you look at this property, what I look at when I look at these properties like this, and I'm thinking, okay, like, all right, so we've got some neighbors there in the property. Here, let me just make it big again. We got some neighbors around there. We got someone that's almost across the street. Doesn't look like there's anybody on that north side of the road there where this particular property is. But if you're a long-term investor, a bucket 4 investor, and you're thinking like ahead, well, we know because, well, there's other development on that street. There's other people on there. What excites me about these particular properties when I look at this and I'm thinking long term is I'm thinking, man, okay, if I buy this property, the taxes are going to be pretty cheap just in general. Taxes don't run that huge of an amount in most areas. In this area, it's very, very affordable. I wish I had this up because I just pull up the taxes real fast. But essentially, when you're thinking about this, and I'm looking down because I'm going to pull up the taxes here. When you're thinking about this long term, what I look at is, okay, the neighbors are going to fill in around this particular property. Who is going to be the best long-term buyer for this? If it's not the neighbors, it would be a builder or somebody long-term that wants to live in that neighborhood eventually. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be something that takes off over time. Remember, this is a 1 acre property as well. So there's desire there, okay? There's going to be desire there long-term. Well, I know that as the price goes up, I would be able to sell it to the neighbor there. Think about this one for a minute. If you had the chance to buy a property that was next to you, let's just say like where I live, there's houses next to me. But if one of those properties was just gone and there was no house there, and someone came to me and said, hey, would you like to buy this particular property? I'd be like, yeah. Why? Because I get double the space, right? Like I turn my 1 acre into 2 acres. So if you're a long-term investor and you're willing to hold off and let this thing grow in value, bam, guess what you have? You're going to have development around you. And when you have that development around you, you're going to have price appreciation in there. Now, I just pulled up the particular property. Let me just change this over here. I'll show you. I just pulled up this particular property, and here it is on landmodo.com. And as you scroll down here, you'll see that, let's see if they mention the taxes. So we're about 16 minutes from Meadview, about 2 hours from Vegas, and they don't mention the taxes on there. But man, I gotta believe that those taxes are pretty low. So again, if that's something that you would be interested in learning more about, well, that short code to learn about this property is right there. Just write that down, and after we're done tonight, just head on over there because this would be to me a good long-term investment. It's not huge. It's not one of those, 40 acre or 80 acres, which I have coming up here shortly. It's not an 80 acre property, but it has that price appreciation there built into it. I think that's a good long-term investment. Yavapai, changing over to Yavapai, about 5 acres, okay, 4.6 acres in Yavapai. The entire price of this property is less than $7,000, okay? Now, again, let's look at the down payment here. $500 down, $197 a month for 41 months. Wow. I mean, think about that one. You're just about, about $1,200 an acre. For some reason, a lot of people have a lot of interest in land that's about $1,000 an acre. So we're very close on this one. Very close, not too far off. And again, if this is a property that you would like to learn more about in Yavapai, Arizona, okay, like this is an off-the-grid kind of paradise to me with the trees and the mountain views. You can learn more about that right there if I can get my arm lined up here. All right, let's keep moving. We're going to change states now. We're going over to Colorado, and the thing about Colorado is, and I'll show you the states that we're going to look at here tonight also, just so you can stay on board with us, is this one. Here we go. So we've got Arizona, we've already covered. Colorado, after Colorado, we're going to Florida, New Mexico, North Carolina, New Mexico. Okay, so these are the properties, the states that we're going to cover tonight. And when we look at this particular property here, no, why it's not changing on me. There we go. All right, Alamosa. Look at the size on this thing. Do you like big lots and you can't lie? Well, here's an 80-acre property for 80-acre property for less than $40,000. $1,500 down, $364 a month for 84 months. Notice what it says here at the top. Potential for 94 acres. Why is that? Well, because they also have the adjacent 14 acres that go along with it, or could go along with it. So 80 acres. Let's talk about 80 acres. Yes, you might have heard, well, an acre is about a football field, and that's about true, okay? It's a little bit, it's about true. Now, here's the thing about the 80 acres. Yes, it'd be equal to about 80 football fields. But do you know how large Disneyland in California is? 80 acres. True. You could operate your own Disneyland on this thing. That's how big of an area it is, okay? So you can definitely do a lot on this particular property. Is this something, again, let me bring up the picture here. Is this something that you could build on? Yes. In fact, if you look closely, I wish I could make this picture out. You will notice that right down here, there is a mobile on there. Now, that's not saying that the mobile is in there. This is just a drone shot. But you'll notice that you have road access in this area as well as other structures. Now, is it going to be something with power there? I don't think that the power's there yet. But again, if you want to learn more about this property to find out, we'll go right here. When we're done, go right there and learn more about this particular property. But 80 acres. Hey, Daisy's here. And Scout Bossman's here. Love the big lots. Anything in Oklahoma? I'm not covering anything in Oklahoma here tonight. However, if you go to landmoto.com, there are some properties in Oklahoma there. Hopefully we'll have some Oklahoma here soon. All right. Looking for New Mexico. All right. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Let's change. We're going to go to Costilla. You're going to see a lot of properties in Costilla. You see this every week. 5-acre property in Costilla, $8,000. Less than $8,000. Flexibility on the terms, monthly payments, and then flexibility on the term. Down payment's flexible. Term is payment. Less than $100 on the monthly payment. Now, again, we already talked about this, but I'll just bring you up to speed yet again. Flexibility. That's what you get when you're working with a seller. You know what I say about the $100 down, $100 a month. I like that kind of a deal. And, you know, whenever we see it, I flash the 100. But I want to flash it for this one because I think that you could probably get this property for $100 down and $100 a month. But it's something you'd have to talk to the land seller about. In Costilla, we kind of have 3 tiers. You got a good, better, and best. Okay, the good, you're looking at it. It's right here. We're looking at the good area. This is down in the valley. We're typically down by the Rio Grande River. And in fact, if you look at the headline up there, 5 acres by the Rio Grande River. So you're down in the valley. So this is the good. The better, we start to go up in elevation. The best is we're going to be up in the SDCRs and some of the higher elevation stuff. So we'll probably see some of those here tonight. So what we'll do is we're going to look to see what else we can find. 5 acres, less than $5,000. So again, here's a property for less than $1,000 an acre. That's a win in my book. Again, because I get asked all the time, where can we find it? Well, we can find it right here in Costilla, Colorado, but it's got to be the right property, because as we go up in the mountains, it's not going to be $1,000 an acre. It's going to be more than that. But again, $199 down and $99 a month. And again, the short code's right there if you want to learn more about this one. I assume that's snow in the picture. Seems like it'd be a little warm for snow, but again, I don't know. I'm in Florida, it never snows. Okay, almost 5 acres. So 4.6 acres in Costilla. Now you'll notice we go up in the mountains. See what happens to the price? We go up in the mountains, and guess what happens? We go up in price too. Now, 5 acres, let's just call it 5, because the county will call it 5, and even though it's 4.6, 5.1, the county just calls them all 5 acres, $30,000 or less. A lot of flexibility here, but look at the trees. This is what you get higher in the mountains. And what makes Costilla so desirable is the fact that you have affordable mountain land with the trees. You try to buy this property around Denver, you might as well put a 0 at the end of that price, okay, for 5 acres, if you could even get it. So there's a big, big difference in pricing between Costilla and even like some of the more populated areas there. So again, if this is a property that you want to learn more about, the short code is on there. I always appreciate your comments, and I appreciate this one too from Luna Linda. Love your show. Love what you do. Thank you for bringing these opportunities to us. Little people, you're not little people. I appreciate you being here to watch this show, because I'm able to potentially help you. And that's what the sellers on Land Moto want to do too, is they want to help you to find the land that will meet up for you and will be a good fit for you. So I appreciate you guys being here, and I always appreciate reading these comments. And if you leave a comment, I try to always respond to them, and help you along the way. So if you're looking for something specific, leave it in the comments, and we'll see what we can do to kind of point you in the right direction. All right. Okay, let's keep working in Costilla. Here we are, Costilla, 2.53 acres. Okay, we're up in the mountains now. You're like, Scott, we're going up, right? Like we are going up, but notice that the size goes down and the prices per acre is a little bit higher than it was in the valley. So this is the better. Okay, this is the better area. But look at this, 2.53 acres. Look at the view. Okay, you got a view of the reservoir in this particular area, $299 down, $129 a month, and then flexible on the terms. And again, the short code's right there. So if you want to learn more about this one, definitely go. I would learn more about this one. Even if you're a bucket 4 buyer, that long-term buyer, I would do this. I didn't mention this, I normally do. If you're bucket 3, okay, and again, what's bucket 3? That's that you want to use this land for recreational purposes, camping, horseback riding, staying in your RV for a certain period of time. Costilla is not the area. So when I think of any buckets for Costilla, bucket 3 is always out. The county just doesn't enforce it. The county doesn't want it. They enforce the code, and they will cite you for camping on the land. So will another one that's getting really strict right now is Klamath, Oregon. So those 2 areas, just stay away if you want to go camping, because the county isn't being very nice about it. Alamosa County, though, because that's the first property we saw, that 80 acres. Well, Alamosa County is very, very flexible. You can stay in an RV. You can get an RV permit for, I think it's up to 6 months, okay? 180 days with a permit. So if that's something that you want to do, RV life up in Alamosa, go to that first property that we looked at, that 80 acres. You can do that. Again, read up on what the county will permit you to do, okay? Okay. Anton Campbell says, love your channel, looking for land in Florida to build. Oh, wow. Stay tuned. I got something just for you, and glad you're here. And it's funny, you mentioned Florida, and here we go. We're off to Florida. So Florida, as you guys know, is my home state. I'm born and raised here. I was out. I should have. I'll tell you what. I keep saying this, and I keep failing to do it, but I'm going to do a better job. I'm going to put a post. I got to figure out how to do it. I know how to do it. I just got to do it. I got a lake in my backyard. Guess what I find down today? Stop that for a second. here. I go down. I got a sidetrack. Hopefully you guys don't mind. I'm outside. I'm pressure washing. I got a fence back there. I'm pressure washing, and I've got the pressure washer out there, not too far from the lake. And I turn around to go turn off the pressure washer. I look down in the lake, and I always look across the shoreline there because every lake in Florida, you can say has a gator or two. Like that's just known. Okay. I look down, and I always look down the shoreline, and I do my scan. I'm looking scan, and I go back, and right next to some little bushes is almost like I call it a baby gator. It's like a 2-foot little gator, right? He was looking at me. He was giving me those eyes, and I'm like, no, 2 feet little. I think it's like two and a half feet gator. I'll put a picture of him, but it's just a gator. But I wouldn't go hunting them either. Because where that little one is, Big Mama's around too. You guys know that. Okay, sorry to digress. I hope I'll probably get hate comments. You talk too long. Okay, sorry. All right, Levy County. Here's a buildable lot in Levy County. And Anton says that. Buildable lot in Levy County. Bring your mobile home. Okay, where is Levy County? Well, Levy County is on the Gulf of Mexico side. What's cool about this property is that this county, this property, well, it's about 50 miles from Gainesville. Gainesville, Florida is home of the Gators. Funny enough, we were just talking about Gators. 50 miles from there. But you know what else is near? This property is near Cedar Key, Florida. And Cedar Key is probably one of the coolest little towns that you'll find in Florida. What I like about Cedar Key, I want to bring up this map here just to show you about Cedar Key. What I like about Cedar Key here, what happened? Here we go. Okay, it's coming up. I promise you. Whoop, there it is. Okay, check this out. Cedar Key, if I zoom out here, you will notice that this is the Gulf of Mexico. This big blue stuff is the Gulf of Mexico. And, you know, as you zoom into Cedar Key, now this property that we're looking at is not actually on the key. It's nearby the key because this is all in Levy County. That property, I believe, would be up around here. So not too far from Cedar Key. But man, what a cool little town this thing is. Okay, like you can go in here and there's great restaurants. And, you know, if I do my little street view here, you'll see like it is the coolest little town. It's like hometown America over here. Some great restaurants, great time, laid back. And the cool thing about this particular area and this particular county is the hunting. The hunting is incredible here. There's an area called Gulf Hammock in this county. Big deer area, lots of hunting. Okay, so boom. If you're looking for an acre of land, guess what you got here? You got an acre of land near Cedar Key, which is desirable. And the price is crazy. Now, if you compare this price to Arizona, you're like, whoa, sticker shock. But for Florida, 1 acre in Florida, $17,900 with $1,000 down. I mean, I don't have $1,000 bill, but to me, that's like $100 down in Florida with $195 a month in flexible terms. This is a great property. Long-term investor, bam. Yes. Bucket 4. Bucket 1, yes. Bucket 2, yes. Bucket 3, recreational, sorry. You're not going to camp on this property. All right. So there you go. Here we go. Here's another one in Highlands County. Highlands County is now more south of in the South Florida area, near Lake Okeechobee, Lake Placid, Sebring are some of the cities in this particular area. 0.36 acres, less than $8,000, $7,799 with $199 down and $149 a month for 60 months. Buildable lot. Bucket 1, yes. Bucket 2, yes. Bucket 3, sorry. Bucket 4, yes. Great properties for almost all of the buckets, but not for the camper. Sorry. You'll notice it says bring your design plans because you can build what you want on there. It's a great buildable lot. Here we go. Another one in Highlands County, 0.26 acres, $26.99. Well, if you look at this one, and you're like, well, man, the price per acre seems a little bit higher. The difference is here you have a different market because notice that you have the homes here We're here. You also have homes here, but you also have backed access, which means that it's not on the main road there. It's just back off of it. And there's probably a dirt road leading back over here. You got to check that out, though. You got to check that out. Make sure that there is dirt road access. Again, Landmodo is a land listing platform, and so the sellers of these properties will list these particular properties, and we don't, we're just sharing with you some of these featured properties. However, no matter what you do on any of these properties, you want to make sure that you're doing your checkouts. Is it going to meet what you want to meet? And one of the things that I always look for is road access. How do I get to this particular property? And it doesn't have to be a road. It can also be what's called deeded access. So with that said, if you're going to look at this property here, make sure that in fact there is deeded access or a road access, because the last thing that you want to be doing is trying to figure out, well, do I have to parachute to the property to get there? And I don't think that you do here, but again, you want to double check that, okay? Clay County, Florida. Now this is up near Jacksonville. Last week we featured a Clay County property with an acre. So this is a third of an acre, so 0.32 acres. $30,000, $1,500 down, $473 a month for 84 months. Look at this property. Road access, bam, you got it. Bucket 1, bucket 2, yes. Not camping on this property, but long-term investor, I can tell you that the land in Florida is going up. Lots of people from the Northeast are desiring to move to Florida. It is one of the fastest growing states in the country. Texas, Tennessee, and Florida are just skyrocketing right now with all of the change in the demographics. So if you're looking for a long-term investment, this one is a great one. If you're looking for something you can build on, learn more about this one using that short code there. And notice too, this is a mobile home lot. So you could put a mobile home on it. So you got flexibility in there. It doesn't have to be just a house or a site-built house. You got some mobile home options in there as well. Daisy doesn't want to parachute to the property. I don't blame you. Okay, Brevard County, 0.12 acres in Brevard County. Where is Brevard County? Well, this is on the east side of the state. I don't know. It's near the Kennedy Space Center. You can watch the rockets take off right from your own front yard, backyard, side yard, whatever, which way it is. That would be like your front yard. Probably see it the best because this is a southern property. 0.12 acres. Yes, it's smaller than what we see out west. Remember that 80 acres we saw on Alamosa? Well, this obviously is not it. But for $15,000, great buildable lot, long-term investment. And again, something that's affordable, $300 a month. Okay, it's $303. I think the seller on this is Jamie. Tell her Scott said she should do it for $300. Should probably do it. Probably would. Okay, Columbia County. Columbia County is up near Interstate 10 and 75. So more central state, more north. Just probably about 30, 40 minutes from the Georgia-Florida line. I should have said Florida-Georgia line like the band, but okay, I messed it up. And so we've got 0.12 acre property, less than $13,000, buildable, $650 down, $229 a month for 72 months. So you basically have a cleared property on there, an easement going into it already. So if you're looking for something buildable, bucket 1, 2, or 4, yes. Not camping. Sorry. Striking out with our camping stuff. Changing states now. We're going to go over to North Carolina. And while this is loading, June says, love your show. Thank you. Love you being here. And I missed a comment from Luna Linda. I want some. Love your light. Thank you so much. All right. Man, can we make this go? Caldwell. We've seen this property before. I'm shocked this thing is still here, honestly. Okay. It's 1 acre. I don't even need to look at it. I can tell you it's 1 acre. Less than $25,000. Bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 4. You're not going to camp on this property. This property is probably in a property owners association, which could be a deal breaker if you're a bucket 4 person, because you're bucket 4, you're a long-term investor. You don't want to pay for a monthly association fee, quarterly association fee, or yearly association fee. However, if you're looking for a buildable lot, the pictures on this thing are incredible. What I love about this one, what I love about this one is that this particular property, being an acre, you don't have a lot of 1 acre properties in here, but the pictures of the community are beautiful. You have access to this lake. want to say, I don't know the name of the lake. You have access to the lake, to this lake. The Property Owners Association, the Homeowners Association, whatever you want to call it, they have these boat slips there. That's what you're seeing in this picture here. Being a landowner, you have access to this. Put your boat in the lake, go tool around the lake, have fun, get back to your house. This could be your life. Okay, so all of a sudden you have some flexibility in here, but I will tell you, when they say flexible down monthly in terms, at this point, honestly, I've talked about this thing so much, I know I have, that if you're interested in this property, you tell them, you better be very flexible because something's not right here. I shouldn't have to talk about this property so many times. Just being honest. All right, changing states to New Mexico. I should just jump ahead. I don't know why this is taking so long. Okay, there we go. Luna, New Mexico. That $1,000, that's the total purchase price. $1,000 for half an acre. Wow. Okay, it's out there. I'm not gonna lie, it's out there. It's remote. You're gonna live on that property if you're an off-the-gridder. Yeah, if you want to do off-the-grid. You want to build out there your dream home in the future? Probably not gonna happen, honestly. Like, maybe not in our lifetimes, unless you want to be off the grid. Okay, there's people that want to do survivalist stuff. That no problem. Okay, this is out there. It is buildable. The county will tell you that it is a buildable property. Now, long-term investor. Okay, think about this one for a minute. You slap down $1,000. The taxes on this thing are like $3. I actually have one of the tax bills right here. Why? Because I own land in this area. It's like less than $5 a year, honestly, for this. $5 a year to property taxes is insane. Okay, $5. Some people will tell me, Scott, if I'm a long-term investor, aren't the property taxes going to eat up my investment? Well, not if you buy in the right area. $5 a year is not going to eat up the profit on this thing. However, it's going to be a long, long hold for you. So again, they don't make land in America anymore. Why not invest long term? Okay. All right. That's it. That's what I got. So I do want to answer a question here before I close out for tonight. Let's answer this question. I have money to buy. What's the complete process? Do you have a video or something? Whoa, you should see me. I don't have a video created. I have one that we're working on. Okay. I'm working on a video right now that would walk you through all of buying a property with owner and seller financing. I'm hoping to have it completed for you this week. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Now, just to kind of give you a quick summary of what happens. Let's say that there was a property that you were interested in. Okay. So like, let's say that you saw a property tonight that you were interested in on Landmodo. So I'm just going to go over here to Landmodo. I'll just pull one up here. And is this one? I think so. So while it's coming up, I'll just show you. Okay, so let's just say that it's this property. I just picked one at random here. So, sorry. Here we go. So let's just say that this is a property that you're interested in. Again, I just pulled this one up. It's a 12.95 acre property. Okay, this one's in a beautiful area. Okay, so let's just say that you're interested in this particular property. Well, you can contact the seller by coming here saying, I want more information, or you can call them, or you can visit their website. If you're going to call them or visit their website, please tell them how you heard about their property, landmodo.com. And what will happen is you'll start to work with the seller. Now, in this case, the seller will come up to you and they'll basically say, hey, how much are you looking to put down? They'll just make sure that it's a good fit for you, that you guys are close in terms of the down payment. I'm assuming you want to do owner financing. And if that's the case, well, then you guys will come to the agreement. You'll make your down payment. And then typically what will happen is you will get the documents through your email. They'll send you some documents. There's typically a couple of documents, 3 documents that you would sign. It's typically the promissory note, the the purchase sale agreement, and what's called a land contract. And these 3 documents together create your contract with the seller. They're going to sell to you and you're going to buy this particular property. And it will lay out all of the financing terms and everything else in there. Okay. Now, once you go through that process and the down payments there, you'll sign these documents. Typically they're signed electronically. And then after that, you begin to make your payments. Once the payments begin, you can pay them off early. There's no payment penalty on most owner financing. So if that's the case, you just pay it as you've agreed to. Pay it off early if you want. I have lots of people that say, I want to pay off my land early. They pay off their land early, and then that's it. Now, you can typically start to use the property depending on what you're trying to use it for. Again, you have to talk to the sellers in advance just to make sure that you and them are aligned with what you're going to use the property for. And they'll give you any restrictions. And as long as you agree to those things, all is good. And then once it's paid off, guess what? You're done. Move on and, I don't know, buy more land. Now, there is a, on Landmodo, there is a, I'm trying to pull it up as well to give you a link here. On landmodo.com, there is a, let's see, owner finance. Let's see if I can find this real fast. And there is a breakdown. It is here, and I'm going to put it into the chat for you guys as well. It's at landmodo.com/owner-financed-land. You can see it right here. And what this is this is a breakdown, just to really answer your question, Mo. This is a breakdown of exactly how owner financing works, okay? And again, we're working on a video that will kind of do basically all of this stuff in here. But essentially, I've given you ideas on how to find owner finance land, even if it's not on landmodo.com, and you know how to buy this and everything all right there. And again, I'm going to put that in the chat for you so that you have it, and on the replay, we'll put it in the description as well so you can learn more about that as well. So there you go. Appreciate your question tonight. And Daisy says, off the grid and homesteader is a trendy thing right now. It is, so is glamping and all those other fancy buzzwords. I hope that you were able to find a land connection tonight. Hopefully you were able to find a property that is of interest to you. And if not, stay tuned. We have more properties coming. I've got properties that we're working on in Tennessee. I kind of talked about it in last week's video. If you didn't see last week's video, go check it out. I talk about Tennessee coming. I also talked about, well, I haven't talked about it, but we got some properties. I've been asked multiple times, what about Kentucky? Believe it or not, Kentucky is not on the website. I got someone to tell me that they got some Kentucky land coming. So watch out for Kentucky because she's coming. And I'm not talking about chicken either. Kentucky is coming. And G Gage, awesome. Found y'all a few weeks ago. So glad I did. And I'm glad that you did too. Remember, I'm here every Monday night streaming. Please check out this video. Well, if you're watching this on the replay, check out the video that's here. That's a video playlist that will help you on your land seeking journey. And if you're, watching this live, write down the description, and I'll see you guys in that next video. Take care and good night.